Hello and welcome back to the Pitwall Podcast. This is going to be a special episode where we have our 2023 draft.
I am very excited for this. Dawson, you had this idea and you were like, we have to do this. We have to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I thought about it like basically as soon as the season was over, I was like, I know what we're doing.
Yeah. So basically here's how we're going to do this. So this is also an episode for newcomers to the sport.
Yeah.
And basically we're going to be giving the history of each driver, like briefly, as we draft them. And
you won't be surprised that our two favorite drivers have more information on them than the rest. But
yeah, we kind of, I definitely didn't start with anybody specific. So basically we're going to both start. We both already have two drivers, and Dawson didn't want to do this, but I just can't. I can't.
It's fine. It's fine.
So
okay.
He has his two Red Bull drivers. I have my two Mercedes drivers. And to be clear, we're drafting the people that we're going to cover
the rest of the season.
Yes. I have a question for you.
Yes.
About how we want to do this.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Do we want to just draft the people that we want to cover, or are we also going to make it some sort of competition?
I think it should be like a fantasy thing.
So you think whoever scores the most points of our drivers at the end of the year?
We should do like we should do a wins, points, stuff. Or actually, we'll just keep it to points.
We'll just keep it to points.
Yeah.
So we'll total our drivers' points at the end of the year. All right.
Yep.
Is it going to be like a reward, or is it going to be like a punishment?
You know what?
Oh, dude, I just realized your cuff says Red Bull.
Yeah, it does.
That's sick, man.
Fancy.
I'm so excited.
Great merchandising, Red Bull.
You know they just dropped Puma, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they did.
That sucks.
Yep.
But it's okay.
Oh, well, this is still like really dope.
No, it's sick.
Yeah.
It's going to look the same just with the Puma logo.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like this shirt doesn't have the like it's missing the Tommy Hilfiger logo.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah,
whatever.
that's right.
All right, anyway. So do you think it should be punishment or both? Or
Okay. Well,
do you have a proposal?
we can talk this out right now. I don't think
let's
the
talk
draft's going to take super
I don't think
long.
so either. That's why I said this is why before we recorded.
Okay, well then let's theorize some punishment ideas.
Okay. Well, it needs to be F1 related.
Yes, obviously.
Okay, so I mean, should we have to buy the other person merch?
See, here's the thing. That was kind of my idea. Like punishment to reward is kind of going to be the same thing. I think reward was going to be like, oh, this person gets merch, but then I was like, oh, it's going to be a punishment because the other person has to buy it.
Okay,
so we can do that.
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's make it.
Well, okay. Here's what we'll do.
What type of merch?
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Theoretically, I think within like a standard deviation or so, the world champion is going to be in one of our two teams.
Yes.
So I think the other person has to buy the world champion. Oh, wait, but I guess one of us could win. I didn't think about this. Like if Lewis wins, but the rest of my drivers suck.
Yep.
Dang. Okay, that won't work either.
Okay, how about this?
A shirt.
You can pick. Okay, the person that wins gets to pick their respected team. It can be anyone. So like, there's a chance if I win, I would pick a McLaren if I drafted.
I got you.
So like, you could pick any team, and I would buy merch from them to give to you.
Okay, and vice versa.
Yeah.
All right. So that's
settled. That's going to be our punishment reward.
Well, this could be $1 million
draft.
quiz for you then.
Oh God.
So the only way we can make it fair is who you're going to pick. Oh, also we should clarify too, because I'm going to add the little sound effect. Have you ever watched the NFL draft?
Yes. I have.
You know how it goes da 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 dun dun dun. So what I want you to do is to say, like, when you decide, I want you to go like, for in the second pick in the 2023 Pitwall draft,
Okay.
Dawson Estes selects Pierre Gasly or like whatever. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So and we'll go back and forth, and there'll be 18 picks.
Okay.
I want it to be like funny because I think we could edit it funny.
Let's do it.
This is what the podcast gets.
Yeah.
All right. So to make it fair, whoever gets the first draft pick, I have a 10-question quiz for you. If you get 6 right, you get to go first.
Okay.
Obviously, like I said, we already both have two drivers. I have Lewis and George. You have Max and Checo.
Okay.
All right. And let's start off before we start by let's talk about our two drivers. Let's give our brief history.
Oh yeah.
So I'll just go first. So
Cool.
I have Sir Lewis Hamilton. He's age 38 from Great Britain. He began his career in 2001 in the British Formula Renault Winter Series. Formula Renault is a recurring theme in this document. I didn't know anything about it. I had heard of it, but I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
He went through a bunch of all small series before going to GP2 in 2006, which is a long time ago. GP2 is what the kids these days call Formula 2.
Yeah.
It got combined with ART Grand Prix, or it might be ART. I've heard it. I looked it up. It's pronounced both ways. So whatever. He won GP2 his first season, which led him to land a 2007 seat along two-time defending champion Fernando Alonso. He's the only black driver there's ever been on the grid. He finished on the podium in his race debut, and he finished runner-up by 1 point in his opening season.
Oh, yeah.
So even though this whole controversy happened with Max and Lewis, that still wasn't the closest he's ever finished, even though it was literally the difference between. So that's pretty cool. He was teammate. So he won his first championship in Brazil, his second home, in 2008. 2013 through present, he was at Mercedes, so he was at McLaren all of that time, which is he's the most recent McLaren champion still.
Oh, wow. That's true.
He was teammate with Nico Rosberg and through 2016, where Nico beat him. And he won the 2014, 2015, and 2017 through 2020 Drivers' Championship. Bottas was his teammate. He had a crazy end to 2021, and he is winless since then. So he has 191 podiums and over 300 races. So my boy. Okay, give me Max.
So Max is 25 from Belgium. Started karting in Genk, Belgium, I think is how you pronounce this.
Yeah.
Well, in 2005, he took part in his first championship, the Belgian Championship Mini, or the VAS, they called it, where he won all 21 races.
Dang.
So he also won the 2013 World KZ Championship at, I'm going to butcher this, by the way, and I even looked it up. I don't even want to say that. Varnes sur... I'm going to sound like American. A complete redneck right here, okay? For all the listeners, I know I have a southern accent. Varnes sur Allier in France.
That wasn't bad.
At just 16, Verstappen then won the F3 championship, and then he won winning his sixth race before going on to win an incredible sixth consecutive victory in the series of that year. That was the next year. I'm sorry, my notes are all messed up. I think I accidentally swapped something around. Oh well, let's just skip to Formula One. His first drive was in 2014 as a reserve driver for Toro Rosso. He then joined them as an official driver in 2015, then finally got the call up to Red Bull, and the rest is history. Two-time world champion, and now holds the record for the most wins in a season at 15.
Yeah,
which he broke last season.
Insane season. It cannot be understated.
Oh, yeah.
All right, George Russell. I should mention Lewis is this is his last year of a 2-year contract. He's expected to re-sign. I don't know. Max's contract is through 26, I think.
Yeah.
Also, I think you're going to crush my quiz, by the way, because some of my answers are on here. So,
okay.
George, or not on here, but like you wrote some of the stuff about Max in your bio.
Gotcha.
So you should at least have like 2 to 3 already.
Let's go.
So I was going to make it 7, but then I started feeling bad. All right, anyway. All right. So George Russell, this is his last year of his 2-year contract. This is the year he has to prove himself. So he's also from Great Britain. He's 24, and his single-seater debut was in 2014 in Formula Renault 2.0. Moved up until he hit Formula 2 in 2018, also with ART or ART Grand Prix, which I think is interesting that him and Lewis went to the same place.
Yeah.
Confirmed as a Mercedes reserve driver at the same time. He moved up to Williams in 2019 through 2021. And in 2022, he moved to Mercedes, where he has 1 race win. And he also drove for Mercedes 1 time in 2020, which was interesting, and should have won his first race back then.
That was an amazing race, too.
Yeah, poor guy. So anyway, looking forward to seeing more of him this season. We'll see how it goes. Potentially most hated man currently in the paddock. I don't know. All right, give me
finally on to Checo. Viva la Checo, as we say, the Mexican Minister of Defense.
Yes, he is.
At 32 years old. Started racing in 1996 when he was 6 years old. Dominated in the British F3 Championship and led the way for him to graduate to, as we said, GP2 or F2, where he finished runner-up, which then led him being signed to Formula One in 2011. So he drove all over the grid. raced at Sauber, McLaren, Force India, Racing Point, and then finally where he landed now at Red Bull Racing, where he, I think, has been the best fit for a teammate to Max.
Absolutely.
Though I put this in my notes and we talked about it. I said it last episode. I would love to see Checo end up where Max is today. I want him to finish with a title on his record.
Hey, weren't you going to ask me something about Russell last episode?
Oh, I was gonna yeah. I also am gonna say this now since I've claimed my driver's Red Bull. He's claimed his as Mercedes. I'm gonna say both.
Okay.
I've got one to say first though.
Okay.
I've been debating this, and the entire last season, I claimed to be a Max Verstappen fan.
Okay.
I still am, but I think I'm just a generic Red Bull fan.
Okay.
It wasn't just like
There is
I'm
a
only
difference.
rooting for Max.
Yeah.
And I feel like I said I was last season, but like I think anybody in that seat I would root for.
Okay.
That's not super important, but just to clarify,
Okay.
I am wearing his merch, but we're not going to talk about it.
You can't even, if you, from my angle, it just looks like a generic hat because you can't see the one on the other side.
That's fair.
But then again, it does have the Netherlands colors on the front, which is cool.
That's right. And then 2. Did we say this before the podcast? If I could take your driver, we didn't say that in the podcast.
Yeah, you're going to say you would
I
have taken
asked him before this podcast started if we had, like, of course I knew Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen were going to be locked down, but I didn't know if the secondary drivers would be. And because I was going to take George Russell from him if I could, because I feel like George Russell is going to be a menace this year.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know. We'll see. So I think he will be
I
too.
have completely backtracked from my belief from last season. Like, I started the season hating George Russell.
Well, how do you feel about him as a person now? Just kind of
Okay, I mean, think about it. I'm rooting for Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
That says what I think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
people's personality, honestly.
Yep, that's true. All right. Well, it's time for your quiz.
Let's get it.
All right. True or false? It's 10 questions. You have to get 6 right.
Okay.
I'm going to read you all 10, even if you crush the first 6, just because it's fun.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. True or false? Max Verstappen won his first Formula One race.
Yes.
False.
Wait.
He did not win
No,
his first
he scored points.
Yeah,
That's what
he
it
won
was.
his first race at Red Bull.
That's what it was.
Trick question. So I'll give you some hints. There's some trick questions in here.
Oh, of course there is.
All right. Where was Max's first win?
In Formula One?
Yes. What track was it on? Or where?
Or where?
Yes. AKA where?
His first win.
I mean, you got 23 to guess from, so
Yeah, that narrows it down.
it does.
Yeah, okay, it does, but still.
I'll give you a hint. This is a very famous race because Lewis and Nico hit each other and both wrecked in the opening lap.
Mhm.
You're like, that doesn't help.
That's a great hint for someone that knows that, not for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Sure, I may or may not answer.
Is this race in the current lineup?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a very an old track might throw you back, but might throw you off because you might think it's like one of the original. You can look up the race calendar. I'll give you one final hint on this.
Okay.
This is the track that everybody says if your car works here, you have a good car. That is the saying about this track.
Oh, okay. If your car works here.
You have a good. Don't look that up.
No.
Okay.
I'm looking at.
Yeah,
I literally looked
trust
up
him.
race calendar.
It's not that
F1.
big of a deal.
Race calendar.
If your car works here, you have a good car.
Barcelona.
You got it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Did you know it when I said if your car works here?
I think you told me that last year.
Yeah, Toto said that because it was a complete another crap after this year when. All right, I fed you a lot on that one, so I'm not going to give you as much. All right, how many race wins does Max have?
In total?
Yes.
Okay, you know what he told me beforehand?
34, or 37.
Oh, wait, what was it?
35, 34, or 37. I give you, this is your only multiple choice.
Okay. 35, 34, 37. Okay. Well, you know what? You told me at the beginning of this, before we even started, that you weren't going to do like specific stats, but here we are doing specific stats. So
call race wins.
I'm gonna say 30. Okay, 15 this year.
How many do you have right, by the way? I forgot. All right, you got
one.
Yeah, one. Oh, but only 2 in. That's good.
34.
He has 35 race wins.
So I told you, I don't know that much about.
All right, what is the
Just a
name of
fan
Max
him.
Verstappen's girlfriend?
Dude,
I complain about her all the time
I do not.
because she was on the cover of Vogue for some reason
No
as
clue.
women in race sport. Kelly Piquet.
Oh, okay.
Because the reason, remember Nelson Piquet said that stuff about, we talked about her.
You're right. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
I am dumb. I actually did know that.
All right, this was in your quiz. Where was Max? I thought I was
In
going to
my
get you on
quiz?
this one. Yeah, no, this was in your document. Where was Max Verstappen born?
Oh, Hasselt, Belgium.
Yeah, okay. I
Hasselt.
just Belgium. I thought I was going to get you on
Oh,
that
yeah.
one. All right, so you got 2 right. There are 5 or 6 more, so you just got to get almost all of them right. True or false? Max Verstappen will be the highest paid driver this year.
Okay.
The
That's a
silence.
tough one,
It
man.
is. It is tough.
Because I feel like it's very close.
It may or may not be
I'm
close.
gonna say. I'm gonna say false.
No, it's
He
true.
is.
Not only that, it's not close.
Oh my god.
Max Verstappen is being paid $55 million.
Last year wasn't he like the second?
This year, and Lewis is making $35 million this year.
Well, you're gonna get to win this draft.
Yeah, I think so. But we're gonna continue on no matter what.
That's I saw a graphic, and it might have. I saw a graphic recently about the payments, and it had Lewis above him.
But I looked it up.
But it
to
might
double
not
check.
have-
It
well,
was
yeah.
last year's.
Yeah, that's probably why I had.
Max
it
got a
confused.
huge raise, which I mean,
accordingly.
the man's racing with a gold helmet. Okay, he's got cash just burn. All right, so I've won at this point. I think. No. If you sweep the last, there's 4 more.
Yeah, I have to get
Okay.
all of them.
True or false? Max has a clause in his contract that allows him to have the final say over his teammate.
Yes.
False.
I-
But he has a clause in his contract that if the team doesn't
can
perform
leave.
well
He can
enough, he
leave.
can leave.
That's what it was.
Yeah. All right, now I won.
Well, okay.
All right,
Well,
true-
go ahead and give him the rest.
All right, true or false? Max got his super license before his real license. His super license is the thing that lets you race.
Super license. That's like to get into Formula One.
yeah,
right?
that's how that's like. You can renew it after you're a driver. It's like you can drive on a race weekend in Formula One. Yes.
Well, I don't know because he was.
He was 17.
Yeah.
But would I give you that easy of a?
I don't understand why someone that drives professionally wouldn't want to drive outside of that.
Well, okay. We'll just answer and then I'll tell you.
No.
why. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it was false. Well.
False.
Well, no. Okay. Are you saying as in he got? Hold on.
Yes, give me the answer, Nick.
Are you
Yes.
saying that he got his super license
before his driver's license?
Okay, so that's true because you said
Yes.
false,
Okay,
but that's
yes,
what you mean.
yes,
Okay,
yes. Sorry.
that's true
Okay.
because in the Netherlands, I believe you have to be 18 to drive.
See, that's why I was in
Yeah,
my head.
that's why I was like, why would I? I was trying to help you. So yes, isn't that crazy? That I didn't know. I did say I forgot about that question. I did look that one up because I thought
Okay.
that was interesting.
Okay.
I found it in his bio. It's actually on the Red Bull's website.
Yeah.
So oh, this is funny. All right, which video game,
Yeah.
was Max ranked 31st in the world in 2018? COD, FIFA, or Rocket League?
Rocket League.
FIFA.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say that because I play Rocket League. a lot.
No, dude, isn't
I
that
thought you were saying
crazy?
it's
He's
fucking- wow,
31st best
31st?
in the world at FIFA of all games
When?
in 2018. So like pretty recently. So like he was a baller at FIFA.
Gosh.
And I think and that was a World Cup year too.
Oh wow.
So he was like, I'm assuming that game gets played more World Cup year.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
all right. And finally, which of these, at least previously, do Max and Lewis have in common? They drive the same car in their personal life. They are the same religion, or they won their race in the same place, which we both know is Spain now.
Well, Max just bought a Ferrari,
Yeah, see, I wrote this question before that, but
so technically that one's not right.
okay. So of the other two,
Unless I'm wrong. No, just kidding.
it is funny.
It's time for you to clown me. I think, because these are all just.
I thought I
in
wrote
one ear,
some.
out the
I
other.
thought I gave you enough to get it right, but I guess not.
Nah. I mean, you gotta like I
I knew. I thought you would know Kelly PK. I thought you would know. He got his first race. Was that a shot in the dark?
was looking through them and I was like,
Barcelona sounds right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, because I'm sure I'm like fairly certain that because we started after Barcelona last year. I think.
Yeah, that was
last
a race
season.
you and I watched together last year. But yes.
I think that's why it's so vivid because that was like my first live watch of a race.
Well, we're gonna watch
Okay,
a lot
anyway.
of live races this year.
What was the last two? Religion.
Religion and when their first race win was at the same place.
I'm gonna have to go with race win.
They're both claimed to be Catholic.
Oh, okay.
At least one point, that was years ago. You know, things change.
Okay.
So anyway, I thought that was
Got,
interesting.
Like, what 2 right? Let's
Something
go.
like that,
2
I don't
out of
know.
10.
All right, so I get to draft first.
That's the American education system for you, right there.
right,
No, I'm
right
just
there.
kidding.
I have no. I just occurred to me I've had no plan on who I was going to draft. Have you thought about who you would draft?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, I don't have a list, but I'm like, oh, if he doesn't pick this person, I'm definitely
Okay, well, I'm going to make a Google Doc called Nick's Wins because I'm going to forget who I have to cover.
okay.
All right. So the reason I was asking at the beginning of who I like, whether or not we were going to do based off of is who I wanted to cover versus who I want. Because like, this isn't my first pick, but I would have picked Logan Sargent because I would have, but I want to win. So, with the first pick, that's so stupid.
No, I like it. Keep it up.
All right, hold on. I gotta actually think about this because I don't know. I gotta come in strong. I got the first pick. I gotta think about who the. All right, no, I know who I'm picking.
Okay.
With the first pick in the 2023 F1 draft of the Pit Wall podcast, Nick Golden selects Charles Leclerc.
Oh, that was gonna be my first pick.
So I debated about whether or not I was gonna pick him
Yeah.
because I was like Ferrari. I don't know, but I genuinely think he's one of the best on the grid. So
Okay.
all right. So here's his bio. So Leclerc, he's 25 and he's signed through next year with Ferrari. He made his single seater debut in, guess what? Formula Renault. He ended up in F2 pretty fast in 2017 after being in GP3 and 1, youngest ever support series champion. He's been in the Ferrari Academy since 2016. He moved to Sauber in 2018, and then got booted up to Ferrari in 2019, which is something cool because his friend died a couple years before that.
Yep.
And it was like his mission to like do this for his friend, which I think is just amazing. I'm blanking on his name. I'm so sorry. But when you guys come to the podcast and sit down and try to remember everything ever, it's hard. Okay, that's Dawson. he just had a rough go of it. So he has won 5 races.
Yep.
Which is less than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like you would have more,
But
but
anyway, all right, Dawson, it's now your turn.
Okay. This has got to be a power pick, I guess.
That's tough.
Since you took my number 1 out. Well, outside of George Russell, of course.
No, he's your number 1, huh?
Yeah. Well, behind Max and Checo. Okay, this is probably not a surprise to anyone that has ever listened to me talk about them before.
I know who you are.
With the second pick of the 2023 Pitwall Podcast Draft, I'm going to select Lando Norris.
I actually thought you were going to pick Pierre Gasly.
No, I'm
Okay.
more of a Lando fan for sure.
Okay. All right.
So Lando is 23. He was born in England, and after a second place finish in F2 in 2018, Lando finally got the call up from McLaren, where he has obtained only 1 podium finish for them. But the reason I'm picking, not only like am I interested in him, like just generally, but I've talked about how consistent he is, and I think that he.
You're going to score some solid points.
Yes, but this year, if McLaren is as scared as they are now, I am kind of scared to pick him, but he's definitely one of my favorite drivers, top drivers on the grid, so I'm going to pick him.
All right. Well, it's going to keep getting harder every time because it's like choosing somebody over this or whatever.
Yep.
I wanted to pick Carlos, but I don't want to just pick 2 Ferraris back to back. So
Good.
Someone I just genuinely want to cover with the 3rd pick in the 2023 Pitwall Podcast Draft, which we're saying something different every time. I just realized.
Oh yeah.
I select Pierre Gasly.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I think Alpine might be good, but I also think it'd be fun to cover him. I hope he has a good year.
Okay.
I will do his bio in just a second after I type this down. So Pierre,
Are you writing down what I picked too?
No,
Dang.
but I'm highlighting. Are
I'm
you on
just
the
kidding.
same document? No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You are. Are you
Yes.
seeing the highlights?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm highlighting the ones that are gone.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm about to make. I'll make a new note. And,
Okay.
who I picked.
So, we're both typing. It's very entertaining for podcast listeners. I don't want to cut anything out, so I'm gonna keep talking. So Pierre, he's age 26, single seater, Formula Renault. Then he moved to GP2 and then jumped around a bunch, eventually landing at Red Bull Junior Toro Rosso from 17 to 18. He moved up to Red Bull in 2019 after Daniel Ricciardo's terrible decision, and he was. Oh man, he was demoted halfway through, and I've just felt terrible for him ever since.
He just wasn't confident in a Red Bull.
Toro Rosso, which became AlphaTauri, he's been consistently like over delivering every time.
Yeah.
And now he is at a French team, and what I would call like, I'm not dissing AlphaTauri when I say this. I'm just saying like this is like a real seat now.
Oh,
like
yeah.
this is like a you're not in a junior team, you're not in a sister team, you're in a seat that is its own team now. So
there's no other team that's above you getting like special treatment, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no junior.
You are on your own.
Sister team. Yep, you are 100% on your own.
All right. What is that? That's number 3.
Yeah.
So okay.
Well, that was number 4.
That was number 4.
Wait, hold on. No, that was number. Dang, I got lost. Okay, so hold on. I went first. You went 1, 2, 3. So you're on
Then
4.
I would be on
okay.
4.
I won't forget this time.
Okay. What are we saying? You want me to say a specific?
I don't
thing?
care. I think it's
With
funny.
the 4th pick of the 2023 Pitwall Podcast Draft, I'm going to select Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
Yeah. So Carlos has 1 win. He is age 28 from Spain. Joined GP3 in 2013, and then in Formula One, he was in a Toro Rosso in 2015 through 2016, and then in 2018. Wait, did he not drive in 2017?
Sorry, my notes are bad.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, okay. From 2015 to 2018, I'm guessing he was in a Toro Rosso?
No, he went. Okay, hold on. He went to Renault. I think he went to Renault in 2017.
Okay, well, 2017 through 18, he went to Renault. 2019, McLaren, Dream Team with Lando, obviously.
Amazing.
And then in 2021, he went to Ferrari.
Which was interesting decision.
Yeah.
At the time, everybody wants to drive for Ferrari one day is like the thing, but also at the time, McLaren was great. But now,
I like Carlos for driving for one main reason, and it was what he said to his race engineers when he was battling. There was one race, I forgot where it was, but we talked about it. He was like battling someone. He was like literally about to overtake them, and they're like pit or like box.
it might have been Spain.
It might have been, but he was like, no. Like, do you see what's happening? And I was like, I like this guy.
This guy. This is the guy. I'll be interested to see who the last pick is, like who you get stuck with.
Oh, yeah.
Like whoever the last person is.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, with the 5th pick in the 2023 F1 draft, I'm going strategic here and picking Oscar Piastri.
I knew it.
I'm extremely excited to cover him. I'm trying to spread out my teams too, so that way I have a decent chance.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because every time I change my mind. So Piastri, he's 21 old. He's an Australian. Okay, Australian. I'm make sure. My brain read Austrian for a second. He's grown quite a name in the world of Formula racing, winning the F3 and F2 championships 1 year after the other. That's impressive. Will he do it F3, F2, F1?
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot of like stuff to prove, and obviously his controversy last year, which isn't his fault at all, as far as I know. I cannot wait to see what Drive to Survive has to say about this. But I think he could be legit, and you do too, because that's what you said. So, that's my pick.
Okay. We talked about this a little bit in the last episode about how I've got some drivers ranked.
Uh-huh.
So this should make sense. With the 6th pick of the 2023 Pitwall Podcast Draft, I pick Fernando Alonso.
Okay. All right.
So Fernando Alonso, age 41, an old man.
Yep.
Minardi and Renault raced there from 2001 to 2006. Was at McLaren in 2007. Renault from 2008 to 2009. Ferrari from 2010 to 2014. McLaren,
Again.
back to McLaren in 2015 to 2019. And then was at Alpine from 2021 to 22. Now is racing at Aston Martin. He has been around the block, Nick.
Dude, he's like, there's this every seat in F1. You sit down, you're like, the chair's still warm from Fernando.
That's a good one.
Oh, man.
That's a strategy pick for me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I have no idea. That's just Aston Martin is a shot in the dark for me.
Yeah. That was or I guess strategy, I should say. That's like, I feel like if someone's going to get points in an Aston Martin, it's going to be Fernando, and I'm not going to go with Lance Stroll.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the last pick.
Yeah.
Also, you forgot he won the 2005-2006 World Drivers' Championship.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It got put on the next slide. So, dude, is it seventh? It's seventh.
Yes.
Okay, with the seventh pick in the 2023 F1 draft, I am going to select Valtteri Bottas.
I knew it.
That's who I've wanted to pick the last 4 times, but I just want to make sure because I don't know how their team's going to be. But I think Bottas is going to have a point to prove this year because I think he wants to keep his seat.
Yep.
And I think he could be awesome. So he's age 33 from Finland. He joined F1 in 2013 for Williams after being their reserve driver for a year. He joined Mercedes in 2017 to race alongside Lewis, where they won 5 constructors championships in a row. And he won 10 times in a Mercedes, which is pretty cool considering he was racing Lewis. And he's now driving for Alfa Romeo, where, he had kind of a bit of a lackluster season, but like everybody struggled. So both of them struggled. I think they could be putting together an interesting year this year, or they could be really bad. I don't know, but I love Bottas and I want to cover him. So that's my pick.
All right. Let's see. What are we on? 8?
Yeah. Dude, it's hard to keep track.
Yeah, I know. Even in my head, I was like, he's odds. I'm even. Okay.
Oh, that's a good plan. All right. Yeah. Odds and even. That's genius. All right. Keep going.
This guy.
Just say the next pick.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that actually. Yeah, screw the number system. We're, like I said, American education system. Anyway.
We could only count to 3.
We can only count to 3. Okay. With the next pick of the 2023 Pitwall Podcast Draft, I am going to select Nick DeVries.
No, I wanted him.
I know you did, but I gotta have him.
Yep. All right. That's a solid pick.
Nick DeVries is 27, born in the Netherlands, and after winning the F2 championship in 2019, he moved to Formula E with Mercedes and is now a driver for AlphaTauri in Formula One. So he's had a break though from racing for a little bit.
True.
They talked about how he's going to have to get warmed back up, but there's something about this new class of racers that I'm just excited for.
Mm-hmm.
They are all just like last year, like the rookies, like it wasn't this big.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a reason. So I'm kind of confident in all these rookies. The only one I'm having a little bit of, never mind.
Who?
I'm not going to know because
you don't want to give away who you're not going to pick. All right. Good.
Actually, I think there's only one left. No, never mind. Or rookies from last year and this year.
Well, okay, so also Nick DeVries had an amazing race, and I have been his champion for a while. I want him in a Mercedes seat one year. I think we'll see how it goes. All right, with the next pick in the draft, in the Pitwall Pod 2023 draft, I'm going to pick Kevin Magnussen. Risky.
That's a good pick. That's a good. No, it's not risky.
It's a little risky.
K-Mag is going to deliver. I believe in him.
I think he will over deliver whatever the car gives him. I just don't know what the car is going to give him.
Yeah. So, dude, imagine. Okay, I've always wondered this. What would George Russell do in a Haas?
I mean, pretty good. Better
Think
than
he would do good.
I mean,
better than in a Williams.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if he could deliver with Haas's race win.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. It's something to think about. But
I think
I'd
one
rather
race a
see him
year,
in
everybody should
Mercedes.
have to switch around. They should get a big fishbowl, and they should
They
have
should
to
put
reach
the-
in and
No,
grab
you know
one
what they
name.
should do? The order of the point system. The person, like, so let's say you got Max.
Hold
at,
on,
like,
I
the
can't
top.
hear you in the mic.
Sorry.
Say again.
Okay. Here's what they should do. You talked about how we should swap around the drivers a little bit. Here's what they should do. Midway through the season, for one race or even a sprint, the top driver swaps with the bottom team-wise or car-wise, and it goes so like top to bottom, like they're just getting flipped completely. So like let's say last year Latifi ended up he's driving a Red Bull for a sprint race.
Oh my gosh,
Imagine that.
dude! You know what's funny is I listened to a podcast
me
with him. I listened to the Beyond the Grid podcast with him, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Well, like I had struggled; it was my fault, but also the car is really hard to drive, and like it doesn't suit my driver style." I was like, "Then change your driving style."
Yeah.
So anyway, so let me cover. Hold on. So K-Max 30 from
Yeah.
Denmark. He drove for McLaren in 2014-15 before going to Renault in 2016, then to Haas 2017 and 2020. Got kicked out for Mazepin. That should have never happened.
Dumbest mistake.
Dumbest mistake.
Outside of Ricardo.
Yeah,
Outside of Ricardo.
If Ricardo was deciding the seats, this is what he would have picked. This is like Alonso and Ricardo with this, what they come up with. But he came back last minute, like literally 12 days or something,
Yep.
which is also going to be in Drive to Survive, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And they still never scored a podium, but he got Haas's first ever pole position. And
We were so hyped.
we were stoked.
beyond hyped.
Rain. He even got a dry lap in.
Yep.
So like it was still like for sure. So all right. Anyway, next pick. Go ahead.
All right. This is where it's starting to get a little tough.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think I'm going to call strategy here.
Okay.
My next pick for the 2023 Pitwall Podcast Draft is going to be Esteban Ocon.
Yeah.
I
Easy.
mean, I think he's going to do okay in an Alpine. Or I think he's going to do okay with Alpine next year. So,
yeah. French team, no French race, unfortunately.
yeah. So he is 26. He had started in Formula Renault.
Shocking.
And then F3 and some others. What does that mean?
Like just he jumped around a bunch.
Okay. I thought so. Okay.
It was like
So in 2016, he made his Formula One debut in Belgium, Brazil, and then he raced in Force India from 2017 to 2018. Quoted. This is Nick's notes, by the way, for this team.
if
at
you can't
least.
tell.
Team got bought by Daddy Stroll, and he lost his seat. He was a Mercedes reserve for 2019, Renault for 2020, and he now drives for Alpine.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
He deserved to keep the seat over Checo
Oh,
back then.
really? You think so?
Yeah. Checo was the drama back then, and Ocon was driving better
yeah.
at Force India.
Yeah.
But Checo had sponsors, and I think Checo's the better driver.
Oh, that's the main thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Checo brought the money.
Yeah, so but Checo absolutely deserves a seat now, like seriously. But it's just I felt bad, like it was bad.
It was
back
rough for sure.
then. Oh man, this is a tough pick, dude.
I wanted to make sure I had at least a strong
Yeah, I'm not feeling
final.
I'm not feeling overly confident.
Yeah.
So all right. With the next pick in the draft, in the 2023 Pitwall draft.
Don't tell me you're gonna do it.
I select Lance Stroll.
No. No shot.
This is purely strategy.
Is it?
I like to trash on too.
Is it really strategy?
I had to pick who I thought had the best car left on the list. And I think Aston Martin's going to have a better car than Alfa Romeo, which is
AlphaTauri?
Well,
I mean, that's kinda up in the
I
air.
have a hot take about Yuki. So anyway, for the end of the season.
Okay.
So go ahead. Oh wait, sorry, I didn't read
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say,
I'm sorry, I'm a bad
give us
person.
bio, man.
I'm a
Come
bad
on.
person. See, I just don't even want to talk about it. All right, Lance got his seat because his dad bought the team. The end.
That's
He's
pretty much all
24.
he has written down. Yeah.
He's 24, F4 single-seater debut. Williams in 2017-2018. Wait, did you also write Daddy Stroll? No, I did this. Daddy Stroll
you
bought
did this,
Force
yeah.
India / Racing Point. The rest is history. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a seat. He probably even deserves that seat. The situation was murky.
Yeah.
And it's just oh man, he makes some decisions.
At least it's not as bad as like a Mazepin situation.
no one's as bad as Mazepin.
Yeah.
Everybody remember Mazepin's first race. He drove for 8 seconds. And Romain Grosjean burned for 23 seconds, which means that Grosjean was on fire longer than Mazepin's F1 career at a certain point. Poor Grosjean.
Oh man.
What's funny is looking back, Grosjean was so bad. Like everybody hated Grosjean for how bad he was, but then because he caught on fire like this, he became like a legend.
Yeah.
So it's like he'll always be remembered as the man who was on fire. So,
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I've been trying to think about this while you've been talking, and I still have not came with a conclusion.
Okay.
But I think for this pick, I'm going to go on who I want to cover
Okay.
and not strategy.
I know you're gonna pick. I think I know you're gonna pick.
Yeah, you probably do. Well, yeah, you probably do. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I can see your cursor.
Yeah, you can.
Dang it.
With my pick, the next pick of our 2023 Pitwall Podcast Draft, I am going to select the American Logan Sargent.
Listen. He selected Logan Sargent because Dawson keeps going like this away from the microphone.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's become it's a bad
okay.
habit.
It's okay. It's because the microphone.
I'll just carry it like
it's
this
okay. Yeah, just go
whenever
Logan
just-
Sargent.
Logan Sargent.
I should get the auto pick for this one because my parents live like 20 minutes from where his house probably is.
Oh, well, that's not how a draft works, buddy.
Fine.
Okay.
Have fun scoring 0 points with your draft. I'm kidding.
I've got Max, so I don't even have to worry about the rest of the drivers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So he is age 22, like we said, from America. Formula 2 had a good career, wins, and just an overall good performance. Joined Williams Drivers Academy, and now he is set to debut for them in this season. So we're just excited that we got an American driver.
We're very excited that we got an American driver. So,
sorry to steal him from you. I know you wanted it.
With my pick in the draft and the next pick, I'm so bad at this. I am going to pick Yuki Tsunoda.
Okay.
This is despite what I have to say later about him, but I'm trying to get a driver in every team.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
I think that is
have
my
we
strategy.
doubled? Have any of us doubled up yet?
Other than our actual teams, I don't think so.
No, we haven't. Okay.
I think
this
we've
is actually
spread
pretty
out
good then.
evenly at this. I think I have a driver from every team except for Williams at this point.
Okay. So I think
Okay, so Yuki is 22. Dang, he's young. From Japan. This hot tipper driver, this is awesome notes, started his career in Formula One with AlphaTauri, where he remains at least through his current contract, which is this year.
Yep.
He hasn't won or had a podium or anything like that, though Dawson thinks he has it in him if he has a better car and maybe a better attitude.
Yep.
I have nothing to add to that. I think that's what's the word? It's smart.
Sums it up perfectly. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do it.
You gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it with my next pick of the 2023 Pitwall Podcast Draft. I'm selecting Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't get there, man.
Yeah.
I
See,
like Nico most of the time.
it's more because like I have Haas delusion syndrome. That's why I think they're gonna end up doing something this year.
Yeah.
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 They're gonna do something.
Well, you see, here's like, okay, when did you pick K-Mag?
Pretty early. I picked him as my. Oh, I picked him 3 picks ago.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, he would have if you didn't pick him there. That's when I would have probably picked him. So
Yeah, I wanted to secure the best Haas driver.
yeah, you did.
Oh,
Okay, so he is a 35-year-old from Germany. Started his Formula One career in 2010 with Williams, then moved to Force India, Sauber, back to Force India, then to Renault, where his career ended for the time. He stayed as a reserve driver for Racing Point and Aston Martin, then got signed to Haas for this current season. Hulkenberg has never won a podium,
which
or
is insane.
he's barely scored like points throughout a season.
Yeah,
It's bad, but
it's an interesting decision to bring him back.
I don't know what to think about this. Like I mean, I don't like it. I would rather see
Yeah,
Nick
yeah.
there, obviously,
Yeah,
still. But
Mick should have the seat.
maybe they know. I mean, maybe something's happened in the background that we just don't know about. Maybe Nico's like completely different racing style, and they're like, we're going to give him one more chance.
I think it has something to do with the whole Mick's comments about the Ferrari engine, something about that. I don't know, though. That's just a suspicion.
I think it's Formula 1
He was
politics.
like, I'm not driving a Ferrari anymore.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, with my final pick in the 2023 pit wall draft, I am picking Alex Albon.
Okay.
So I think this is the person you were referring to, and you said you don't trust a rookie. Was it Joe Guan Yu you were talking about earlier?
Yes.
All right. Well,
it was. Yes, it was kind of like. It was between Logan Sargent and
the worst,
Joe.
Dude. Logan Sargent.
I'm not saying
I'm
saying
awesome?
he's bad. I'm just saying of the newer drivers, I feel like Nick DeVries and Oscar Piastri are going to outperform him. One, because he's in a Williams,
Logan's unproven,
and two, because I haven't heard or seen much about him.
I really feel like he's there because he's an American, which is fine with me. I don't have an issue with it, but I just don't. His stats don't line up with some other entry stats.
Because like with the rest of them, you see like, oh, won this championship. His is like good career.
Yeah,
like he's
won.
done okay. Yeah.
I mean, and also he was already focused on making it to Williams, so like maybe he had like, I only need to do
they
this
saw
well.
that as like, oh, because he's wanting to get here, he's dedicated and will stick.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, so Alex Albon is 26, Formula Renault 2.0, single-seater debut. He played lots of series, and then Toro Rosso in 2019, then moved up to Red Bull as a rookie mid-season, as we all know.
Yep.
Had a terrible season in 2020, really rough. Honestly cost Red Bull any chance of winning the Constructors. I don't think they would have beat the W11 anyway, but any chance. And lost the seat in 2021, was reserve driver, and then ended up at Williams. He's part of my theory of the Alex Albon, Nick DeVries secret trade that I think is still true. And yeah, that's it. And you have our final driver. You don't have to pick him if you want to.
I was about to say. So I end up with Zhou Guan Yu, which I honestly didn't expect to be the final pick.
Me neither.
I thought it was going to be.
I kept skipping over him because I don't trust Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, see, that's why I didn't. I was going to pick Valtteri if you didn't,
Right.
but I figured you would. You like Valtteri.
Let's go. 77 VB.
And like, I don't necessarily have Zhou. And like, I don't have anything bad against Zhou. It's just kind of like one of those things. He's just unproven. Like you said about Logan. It's just another, like he's been in for a year, but I mean, he's also been in an Alfa Romeo for a year. Look at Valtteri last year. Valtteri's an amazing driver in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he was doing only a little bit better than Zhou.
Bottas has some of the worst luck in Formula One, like period.
If there's one guy that I think deserves a championship more than anyone on the grid is Valtteri Bottas.
Wow. Okay. That's a big statement.
I mean, the 8 years or
that's true. He did all the shoveling. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I'm not saying he's the best driver,
but you're saying he deserves something.
Yeah.
He deserves something with his name on it.
Yes.
Yeah. I get that. Okay.
I mean, at least you got constructors.
Yeah, it's true. That cannot be overlooked.
Okay, so Zhou is age 23, born in Shanghai, China. He has had a rough rookie career, only scoring 6 points throughout his season. But like we just said, he was in an Alfa Romeo, and even Bottas struggled this year. So it's kind of just up in the air. Like, maybe this is just a pocket pick that's gonna get me some good points.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna give you my 3 season predictions.
Okay.
I think that I think that these are pretty solid. I had to really think about it, but I'm confident in all 3 of them.
Okay.
My number 1, Lewis Hamilton wins the championship in dramatic, but I think this is the year, his 8th championship year.
Okay.
I wasn't feeling it last year. I could feel it going in. We're going to have a rough year.
Yeah.
I said that, and I think this year, I don't know how the car is going to be, but I just have this feeling that he's going to win the championship.
Okay.
I think he's going to prove once and for all.
Do you want to do it one by one or like?
I'll just give all 3 of mine.
Okay.
Number 2, Yuki will lose his seat at the end of the season. I just don't think. I think they've given him ample time, and he's not going to prove himself.
I'm gonna just say this. You literally took one of my predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Lewis winning the championship?
No, it was.
I know.
Yeah.
And number 3, I think Aston Martin has another big controversy, and they're one of the main teams that we talk crap about this year.
Yeah.
I think, and like I said, I said it earlier, but I think they're going to have another green Red Bull or pink Mercedes type controversy.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you steal as many race engineers as they did. And let me clarify. I don't think stealing is a fair word. People move jobs like in any other industry. It's just called, you're moving up or whatever. But they have grid race engineers and stuff.
Yep.
And I think that putting it together with the formula of the morals that this team has had in the past,
Yeah.
I don't think they are going to be shy of stealing ideas as much as possible. So I think we're going to be talking about them pretty soon, probably at the testing, honestly.
Okay, so my predictions, mine's not as direct as your first one, but I'm going to say that Red Bull wins Constructors Championship.
Oh, okay. You think so?
I don't know about the drivers because honestly, like,
Well, why do you think they're going to win the Constructors?
I think they're going to be an overall better, like, I don't know. I just have a feeling like they could win another Constructors. It's just the drivers I'm worried about.
So is this you saying that you think the wind tunnel time demotion will have no real effect?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
But it's merely going off of feeling and of just kind of how well Max was driving last year and with Checo.
Yeah.
Both are phenomenal in my book. So,
Okay.
Second, which you took from me, I put that Yuki gets either booted from AlphaTauri mid-season or at the end of the season.
Mid-season. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Who would come up?
I don't know, but
All of the Red Bull Junior drivers are in trouble right now.
it's what?
Daniel Ricciardo?
Oh, imagine, imagine.
Oh, please.
Wow.
Dude, okay, I'm just saying,
like,
this is not a hot take. Daniel Ricciardo would be better than Yuki in that seat.
yeah,
That would be awesome.
but he turned down a seat for 2023 though. He said.
Yeah, you're right. You did. I don't know what seat it was. I think it was. I think they could have had the Haas seat. It
I'm
was
pretty
his if
sure
he
it would've
wanted
been
it. I don't
Haas.
think he had any
I think
real.
that's why we waited so long
I don't think he had any real
to
offer.
hear anything from Haas. I think that's why we waited.
I don't think he ever showed up to a negotiation.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
Anyway, sorry.
So yeah, I don't like. There's been changes from Yuki, like I think personality wise and maybe attitude while driving. I think he has gotten better, but is it enough for AlphaTauri to keep him around for another year?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, because like their team lead is already like on the edge with him. Like the first year he was like, step it up now or like
get out. Yep.
Yeah. Second prediction. I think Charles Leclerc is going to win, or not win. I think he's going to end up.
Got me on the edge of my seat.
I know, man. This is okay. This is me wanting it to happen.
You gonna say he's gonna win? Are you about to tell me he's gonna win? Okay.
No.
I was
He's not
like,
gonna.
Whoa.
When I said win, that was a mistake. Okay, I think Charles Leclerc is if Ferrari can pull it together, I think he's gonna get second in the championship.
Okay. Well, that means that you think that Red Bull's gonna win the championship. You think Max or Checo's gonna win?
Yeah.
Because I mean, math.
But I mean, I don't know. This is a rough one, dude, because I have no clue what to think about like the top teams.
We're gonna know pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, after testing, we'll be like, oh, okay, like because all the stats will come out.
What does your gut say about Mercedes? Do you have any gut feeling? My gut feeling is like
it's gonna be a good
cautious.
year.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's why I'm like, I told you at the end of last season, I think Red Bull's in trouble.
Yeah, but you just told me
I think they're gonna win the constructors, but
okay.
I don't know if
It is. I wonder if it's
Let me tell you,
mathematically possible.
I know I am conflicting a lot of opinions right here. Okay.
It's theoretically possible that it could go Lewis, Charles, Max, Checo, or Checo, Max and they could win the constructor.
It's just like I have a gut feeling
think-
that as a team they're going to do better together, but I feel like
consistent.
they're going to be outperformed more by certain drivers.
I think you could be 100% right in your prediction, but there's a key thing that has to happen. Ferrari just stays the same, and but Mercedes has to have the best car, but it has to be unreliable, which I do not believe.
So basically,
So like a Ferrari
first
situation.
half of Ferrari last year, where they had the fastest car.
Because
It's
here's the
not
thing: Lewis isn't
reliable.
going to make as many mistakes, as Charles.
No, that's
No
fair.
way.
Yeah,
So I
he's
think
what 25, Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I there's no way Lewis can make as many mistakes. So theoretically, I think if Mercedes had the Ferrari last year, they might have been able to pull out the win.
Yeah.
Because their strategy is so bad. So I think that's what it hinges on.
Yeah.
I think that could happen then. Then the Red Bull could win without having the drivers champion. Not that you're saying that's not going to happen. I'm just saying we could both. That's the only way we could both be right.
Yeah.
Because I think theoretically Lewis could kill Lewis could barely win the championship over Leclerc.
What they won constructors the year that Max won his first world championship.
Yeah,
right?
yes. So it did happen, but I forget where Bottas was the problem, or not the problem. Like Checo was just such a second driver that year.
Yeah.
So it's really, it could happen.
Who knows? I'm gonna add an extra one.
Okay.
Just like off the top of my head, I think McLaren's gonna end up even lower.
I think so too. Yeah. P7, P6.
Yeah. I think they're gonna drop to like P6 for sure.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Which is sad because we both picked very early. We
Yeah.
want them to be good.
Yeah, for sure. But
Ideally, the championship is decided between 8 drivers, and it's McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes.
Yeah.
Is like the ideal. Like
yeah.
every race, different winner.
Well,
What's going to happen?
Alpine though.
I don't know what to think about Renault's build quality.
Yeah, that's fair.
Every year their engine's like.
Who knows?
Like, I mean, last year they were doing great and they managed to get P4 in the championship, but like their engine was just so unreliable.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, well, I think it's time to wrap up, but I really enjoyed that, and
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to see who wins. I'm looking forward to getting my free Lewis Hamilton championship shirt.
Dude, I think you know what I'm saying it now. It might completely change, but I think if I won, I would probably get like something from Lando.
Unless they're like P10 in the championship.
Okay, yeah, maybe not.
Lando's a trooper for signing such a long contract with them. By the way, he could definitely have gotten. He would have been fighting George for the Mercedes seat. I think.
You really think so?
Yeah, but he was like, I'm going to win the next championship with McLaren. I'm going to be awesome.
He wants to be that guy.
Yeah. So.
Well, we'll see.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Tune in next time where we'll most likely be talking about. I actually don't know yet, but I think we'll be talking about the car reveals, the liveries. Liveries coming up, Drive to Survive coming up, and testing coming up. So it's not that long to wait now.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye.